Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So yesterday I was sharing about getting off my plan, right? After essentially going around the vegan world for 80 days, give or take, I went off my plan. And today, absolutely had the conviction to stay on, for which I completely failed. Yay me. I'm just being straight up, people. This is a tendency of mine. So I really had to go back in and look and just say, like, what happened? Now, I'm not always saying you need an answer. And in fact, in the 12-step program, when they say someone's going to hit bottom, I used to kind of laugh at that because I was like, there was no rock bottom for me. I would take a shovel and dig deeper, okay? Rock bottom probably would have been death, but as you can see, I wasn't successful at that either, praise God. So I was just thinking about the earth and how it's set up. I know, and no, I'm not going to a science lesson on the earth, but the crust itself that we're standing on is about 3 to 25 miles deep. And then you get to the mantle, which is about 1,800 miles. Wow. And then even for that, there is an outer core, which is 1,400 more miles, and you finally get to the inner liquid core, which is about 800 miles. So the radius, which is just the halfway mark, so from the center of the earth out, is about 4,025 miles. Can you dig? Which means the planet is about 8,050 miles across, right? Anyway, my point is I can dig and dig and dig. I can try and find all the profound reasons, and I will only get one more layer, okay? I'm not going there. Okay, but a couple of just very obvious things as I was thinking about it was, first of all, you might notice we're on day 20 of the month, and my urge jar is essentially empty. How, pray tell? Do you really think I never had urges this month? For 18 days, I made it through a ton of urges and forgot to award my little primal brain that was more than ready to fit through, which I will say took place yesterday. So that's like one of the things that I stopped doing. For my calendar, where I love to put my stickers, I was getting so confident that I stopped putting stickers for days at a time. Again, not appeasing my primal brain, right? If I look in my journal, it's going to say the same thing. Empty, empty, empty. This is a tendency of mine. I have great tools, but when I start doing well, and obviously 80 days is doing really well, I get so confident that I stop dropping, like I just drop my tools. I drop my tools. And I will say that most certainly was part of it. Another part of it was that I started paying attention to myself. Now, I know that sounds funny because people will say, well, Jules, you never give yourself any time. You're so busy serving others. There's a reason for that. And it's because when I focus too much on me, I freak. Now, I do want to give myself a shout out because no matter what, I've honestly rebounded every single day. I did that for all of February and I've done that for all of March. So I definitely did that. Which was my Lenten commitment, have been doing that daily mass online almost every single day. I've certainly done my rosary and often double rosaries, which again was my commitment for Lent, rather than giving up something like for food, because that can really freak me out. And with my eating disorder tendencies, it can throw me into a tizzy. But yeah, I let some of my very basic things go. What I mean by paying attention to myself is that I know. You guys are going to say, Jules, really? I know. I got on the scale. Why? And I say it's for a reality check, but wait a minute. Is it the end of the month? I don't think it is. So what are you doing on the scale? Throwing myself into a tizzy because it's not showing this hotness. How can it not reflect this hotness? And you know, I laugh or cry. So I accidentally got into the scale. I accidentally forgot to affirm myself, which I most certainly should have been doing. I need to be doing that. So there's some good ways to celebrate myself, and there's some ways that get me into huge trouble. And that was definitely one of the ways that got me into trouble. I know that my best way is service, and I usually participate in the Tanny Raw Reset, and in a way that's service for me because I enjoy it. I can be a cheerleader for people. Praising others is a really wonderful gift to myself. It really is. I know that might sound odd, but it's what I'm called to do. And so years and years ago, I and you may not even know this about me, but I had planned on becoming a nun not when I was a child. When I was a child, I was definitely going to have 11 children like my mother did and everything else. But in my later teens, I felt called to become a nun. And unfortunately, for many reasons, it didn't work. And praise God, I'm married and love my husband, and God had another plan. But I knew that I was absolutely called to serve, and perfectly imperfect. So when I think about it, when I focus too much on myself, I start to focus on all the things that are wrong, all of my shortcomings, instead of the grace and the gift of what God has called me to be. And so that's really hard for me. And God does not ask us to be perfect at all. He just asks us to share. Are we willing to share? Are we willing to serve perfectly imperfect? And I most certainly am. But sometimes, and I always tell God, forgive me for my arrogance. Forgive me for that shortcoming. Please strengthen me and call me back to service, because it's just no good for me to only focus on me. That will never serve me. But honestly, I really thought I was called to be a nun and would happily have served in that realm, and imagine I would have been very good at it, honestly. But I kind of feel like God wanted me to be able to send his message and serve for people who aren't necessarily Catholic. Always taught in a public school for 26 years, and even more before that for little preschoolers, rather than a Catholic school, which would have been so easy, right? But those children already have supportive parents who have already put them in that environment. So just many things like that. And one of the songs, and I'm going to sing it, and if you know it, please join. And if you don't, you're welcome to hang up now or bear with me. But it's Here I Am, Lord, by John Michael Talbot. And I just wanted to reaffirm to the universe that I am ready, I am here, and that I understand that I am called to serve. So if you guys know, help me out. If you want to hear the real thing, I'll have it in the comments. And let's sing Here I Am, Lord. Okay, here we go. I, the Lord of sea and sky, I have heard my people cry, all who dwell in dark and sin, my hand will save. I who made the stars of night, I will make their darkness bright. Who will bear my light to them? Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart. I, the Lord of wind and flame, I will tend the poor and lame. I will set a feast for them. My hand will save. Finest bread I will provide, till their hearts be satisfied. I will give my life to them. Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, If you lead me, I will hold your people in my heart. I will hold your people in my heart. Ah, right? I will hold your people in my heart, Father. Ah, I fall short. I fall short. But seriously, how beautiful is God? You know, when I think about falling short, he's like, Juliana, I came perfect. I was God incarnate in the form of my son Jesus, and they killed me at age 33. Okay, you're 55. You're still on the planet. You're still serving. You still have an opportunity to step it up. Okay, I'm not looking for perfect. I'm looking for here I am, Lord. And when he says, I hear you calling in the night, you're not kidding. God wakes me in my sleep. He really does. Ah, he's so beautiful in the way he'll just provide for anybody. He'll tend the poor and lame. Answer the prayer of my nephew Dean, Father. His arms and legs don't work anymore. Finest bread he will provide. A life-giving bread, right? That far exceeds, like this is the raw vegan diet. It far exceeds any of the nonsense on the shelf. And it's something we can grow ourselves with sprouts and microgreens, right? Oh my gosh, the finest gifts he will provide till our hearts be satisfied. My heart is satisfied in God. The rest is coming. I just have to trust that all the time the rest is coming. And I will reaffirm again and again, as long as I'm breathing, as long as there's hope, as long as people are hurting and in need of the message, here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I've heard you calling in the night. And I will go, Lord, if you lead me. And I'll hold your people in my heart. All right, people, as always, thanks for stopping by. I'm Jules Bless Vegan. I'm here to support you. Like if you like, join us if you haven't, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. Know that I'm always praying for my JBV community. And until we talk again, I'm going to surrender. Be well tomorrow. And God willing, and the creek don't rise. I'll see you then. And until we talk again, best of all, know that you are blessed.